Hello everyone and welcome back to LSI F1.5 Championships. We're today for the Mexican Grand Prix round 9 out of 16. It is a very interesting track. It can be very good. It can be sometimes very on the tactical side, I'm gonna say, just to keep it up in the air, as we are on board with Mizzy right now, who's currently sitting on pole position, looking to try and improve it as we go through the S section, riding the curbs, missing the second one. They do have to lift as well on the exit of turn 11 now. DRS available once again. JJ rejoins the session after disconnecting earlier on, now into the final few corners, into the final sector I should say. Up into the chicane, just trying to keep the revs as low as possible to get that traction down. Round the final two corners now. Yes, this is a corner right here. A cross line, what's it going to be? And it's not going to, no, it is going to be an improvement. A 16.3 there for Mizzy. Benjamin is going to try and do their best to push themselves up ahead of Mizzy. Is the McLaren going to be able to displace the Mercedes? Same engine, sound at least, of course. Bit of a wiggle on the exit as they go round. And what's it going to be? It won't be an improvement, so they're going to have to go again. Gary in P3. The rest of the grid, as you can see, of course, we've got a couple of new drivers. That is with Meal Deal Matty, who we will just call Matty for ease of use. They are a reserve driver, not higher tier, so they're going to look for a possible permanent seat next week if they can perform. We of course have End Andrews, who is a higher tier driver, followed by Eager Pro, who is also a higher tier driver with Nifo as well. I think that's the last of the higher tier drivers. No, PJ is as well. And then we have Heisler, who is a reserve driver, but they will still score points. Now, Zingy, what's the strategy looking like? You won the race yesterday, and you also tried each tyre, so you know how they perform. What is the best tyre, and what is the best strategy?
The best tyre is soft one. No. The best tyre, honestly, I'd say the hard. Contrary to belief, the hard tyre is very consistent. I've noticed in my stint that I was improving quite a lot. Within I went from a 19.9 to a 19.3, or 7-lap old cards. So the hards are very not only durable, but they can pump into very good lap times. The mediums obviously are faster. But if you're just calm on hard tyres, I reckon people could maybe go for the soft tyres at the end, granted they can keep the pace up.
Yeah, for sure. It's going to be an interesting one, of course, with safety cars if they cause any kind of shenanigans. Now, Ben has done, I think, he's done a lap, so I don't know if we watched the out lap first, but now he's done a lap and he didn't improve again. So unless he's going to go for another one on this tyre, he will not be improving. For now, we're going to go on board with Gibby and see if they're going for an improvement lap. They go purple in the middle sector, it says, up by about half a tenth though. So not entirely sure how correct that is. That's the first sector, sorry, my bad there. But now into the second sector, the S section. Very daunting, especially if you're not confident with your ride height that you've chosen for your setup. So far, so good. Looking very tidy. You want to be as flat as possible. It is almost flat. Slight lift to ensure that the car can get through the corners. Got a McLaren moving out their way. That would be JJ, I believe. And then we have Gibby coming around the final few corners into the stadium section. Now turns 14, 15, 16, and finally 17 across the line. Let's see what they can get. What's going to be in a P6, a 17.6 there for them. Still got a bit of a way if they want to try and catch up to the top times. JJ having some connection issues. Not entirely sure if we can actually do anything about that because it's only one driver struggling. Currently, Mizzy still tops the times.
Yeah, Mizzy set the time with a 16.3, which is a very competitive lap time. It's very interesting to see that earlier on that people are, I think it was this track in particular, people were setting very good times, but then just can't improve on it. It was the same with USA last week, remember, with Breeze's exceptional lap time, which only got beaten right at the end, I'm pretty sure. So it seems to be a common theme, especially, well, in general, people just seem to be setting very good laps and not able to improve, even with the higher grip. Although the tyres could be getting hotter as an increase of track temperature could be a result of that, but I'm not entirely sure. Mizzy is going to start a lap now. Would you like me to take you through this, Aaron, or would you like to? Righty, on to the start-finish straight. This is one of the longest start-finish straights on the calendar. DRS open just before the bridge of the F1 2022 board. Now coming into turn 1, you want to spot your braking point. You want to use the outside of the track, nearly going off it, yep, over the curb. And at turn 1, you do not want to touch this curb. He keeps it nice and neat through the chicane. You want to clobber this curb and clobber this curb too, going over it absolutely exceptionally. He uses the track limit abuse to his advantage, and now coming under the Rolex board towards the end of the first sector. He is purple by 0.08 of a second coming through into the chicane now. He's kept it a bit too tight, and he's going to lose a bit of time there. And now coming into the double right-hander, he's losing the back on the exit, proving that he is really pushing on this lap. Coming into the fast chicane, as you said, right height is very important. You need to have a very high right height in order to take these curbs confidently. He loses the car, and he's backed off. That's unfortunate. He was on for a very good lap there, but he made a little bit of a mistake, and that's cost him.
Yeah, still good effort though. They've got a little bit more time, so it's not the end of the world so far. We've got Benjamin still, of course, not setting a lap time in the pit lane. I guess they're probably just going to have to wait for the end of the session. Now, we had Reese who set a P3, a 17.0. Still got a bit more time if they want to catch up to Ben. And we also have quite a few people that haven't actually set lap times. Of course, we have Eisler, who is allowed to set lap time. JJ and Matty, who are both, unfortunately, having some issues with the lobby connection. So, not really sure if there's anything that we can really do about that. So, it is what it is, and we'll just have to wait for any progress. Matty joins the session once again. Now, we have Gary on a lap. They have their teammate moving out the way. Good to see Gary back, of course. Let's see what they can do. They showed strong pace in Japan. Bit of an invalidation, unfortunately. But yeah, strong pace in Japan. We haven't seen them since. Let's see if they can try and get that back up, because it would be good to see. Something to talk about as well right now is this guy, Gilly. He is now in a Ferrari, and you may think that he's in the wrong car, but no, he's not. It is now his permanent seat along with Lepic, who will take the other Ferrari seat. So Gilly will be driving the lovely red car, and they're also going to be pretty quick in a straight line, so we've got some kind of 2019 vibes for this this kind of matchup of team and driver. Now, that is the Williams going through of Heisler to start an outlap. Is Gilly also going to go for one final lap? I think. Not entirely sure if we're going to get to see anybody else soon enough, but we will go on board with Heisler, I think, as we start the lap down the straight. DRS open quite a lot later than you would think around most circuits, but they still get it done. Now into turn 1, and going to keep it as left as much as you possibly can. Open up the corner, braking as late as you can as well, into 4th gear, riding that inside curb, now up to 5th, smooth on the throttle, keep it down, keep those revs up, or I should say low, so you can get the throttle down without too much worry. Now into turns 4 and 5, swing it in through, bit of understeer. Once again, we keep on seeing that corner just being so difficult to get the car turned in at. The double apex, loses it on the first apex, kind of slides the car, and then it ruins you for the next one. But still, this can be a good lap, and they need a lap here just to get themselves anywhere up the order at the moment. Through the S section, looking very tidy through here, nice and confident. But no, on the exit a little bit too confident and loses the car. Just going to have to get out the way. They might get another run if they've got enough fuel in that car, but I think that might be it, unfortunately.
Yeah, Hydro making that crucial mistake in this. I mean, we've seen it in real life. The car can just go, it can do a swap on you and just spin around at any moment. And proving herself in the game that S section is much harder than you think it is, because you need to get the angles right, otherwise you will spin it around. So it's very difficult. JJ joins, but he won't be able to get a lap in, which is unfortunate. This is stuff you don't like to see. Now, is anyone on a lap at the moment? Gary looks to be. Wait, no, never mind. He ran out of battery. Ben, yeah, Ben's 600's up in the first sector. Ben's on a lap right now, and if he keeps on at this form, he's going to beat Gary. Although he's went very wide into the fast right-hand little turns. It's coming through the chicane now. You want to hook your car on the curbs, and you want to make this part as straight as possible so you keep the minimum speed up. Now with the DRS open, He's keeping it to the left a bit, and then he's going to swing over to the right, right and then left, which I found very odd. Coming into the stadium section, it's very easy to lock up coming into the hairpin there. Now on the traction is Elias Judea without losing the car. Coming through the final corner now, Ben keeps it. Oh, a bit of a screen freeze from me, sorry. Up to the line, and he doesn't improve.
19.6 are really struggling to get any better than that. Gary has moved up the order. We have Reese, who could possibly try and trouble, as they have been very, very strong in past seasons. They've had a bit of a troublesome moments, or few moments with the 2022 cars. So hopefully we can see them do something here. The qualifying pace seems to be pretty strong. Mizzy retires early as they make a mistake, I think, on their final run, so they're not able to go again. Gary is done, Benjamin is done, Lalek's done. We've got Reese coming through here to see if they can do something. We've also got Matty also on their first and only lap of the session. Here we go, Reese around the final corner. What's he going to be? Keeping it tight to minimise the track distance. And it's a P2. That's what we want to see from Reese there. That is awesome to see. Lovely, lovely stuff. Gibby will not set a lap time. Matty comes around the final corner, and they will also not improve, unfortunately. They actually invalidated, it seems, maybe. But still, a very good effort from this guy. Reese has taken not pole position, P2, the front row. Mizzy on pole position by a fair margin, to be honest. I will give him that. That is very, very impressive. I wonder, how is their race pace going to fare? Maybe they're looking at a pretty quick quali pace setup. Let's hope for their sake that it doesn't ruin their race pace, but I think they're going to be in for a good race there. It's going to be a nice one to see.
Yeah, Reese with that exceptional lap at the end there. I was just looking on board with it before you got into it, and it looked as though he was really able to throw the car in at such speed, and rather than spinning it at the S section, he just kept it planted. I don't know how he done it, but he really flung it in. The steering wheel was a bit mental there, but you know, you have to drive like that sometimes to get the most out of the car. Anyway.
Yeah. Mizzy takes pole position, Reese in P2, and then we have Gary in P3. This is the rest of the grid. Then we'll quickly, if we can, skim through the race director, and there we go. Lovely stuff. We will be back for the race. We'll see you in a bit. Ready? Hold. Go! Who's going to get it into turn one? I don't quite know. Will Reese be able to capitalise on the front row? No, they will not. And that is an amazing start from Mizzy as he runs away with it. The Red Bull is trying to get into P2. Benjamin also trying to get that move on the Alpine, and they do. Lovely stuff. And the Aston on the outside. Gibby trying to capitalise on this as they run away. The Mercedes does, but that is an awesome, awesome start from Gary. Benjamin slots into P3 and stays where they were. And then Gibby in P4. PJ in P6 there, actually. Lalek, sorry, P5, and Gilly dropping down the order on the start after that one. And Reese also just keeps losing positions now. He can't seem to hold it as PJ. I was confusing the two Alpines right there. I thought it was in the Williams. but that is Reese losing more positions. It's Nifo slotting in behind, and also Gilly having to back off. They didn't want to go side by side right there. That could have been really, really disastrous if they did try and do it, but there's really got a pace difference, of course, with the S section, so Nifo might want to try and get through sooner rather than later. And yes, VSC Heisler is round. Do they have damage, and is that why we have a yellow? Yes, they do. Unfortunately, don't know what happened there.
Yeah, Reese seemed to have really bogged down off the start. I don't actually know what happened. It looked as though initially he got away not too badly, but then the car just wouldn't go off the line. It may have been those hard tyres, although I'm going to check what people are on. Yeah, Mizzy, Gary, PJ and Larlick are on mediums, whilst everyone else is on hard. So, I don't know what happened there. A bit of a starting issue it seems, but, you know, we have to live with it. Heisler coming into the pits to fix his very lack of downforce. And we're underway once again. It seems as though Mizzy's got a great start, and so is Gary. Everyone's kind of spaced out at the moment. The closest people on track right now are going to be Reese and Larlick coming into the end of the first sector. Reese won't be able to do anything at the moment, so he's just going to have to be patient for the moment.
Yeah, good stuff from the restart. Obviously, everybody wasn't really close enough to actually make any kind of move, which does allow it to calm down a little bit, which isn't the worst thing at all. It does allow everybody to focus a bit more. And I'd say good start from Mizzy. They were very close to the rest of the field. Gary gets a pretty good start, as they're now pretty even between the car ahead and the car behind. But Benjamin seemed to have an issue maybe off the restart, as they were right behind Gary, but never mind for him, as Gibby gets a 3 second, the first of the lot. And if that's the first one on lap 2, they might be in a bit of trouble because it's such a difficult circuit, although we can possibly get some double warnings. Now, Mizzy starts lap 3, DRS will be available on the next lap, but at the moment Benjamin is struggling massively. No ERS for the Aston Martin, and PJ also might have a look, so that is Aston trying to go for the move on the McLaren, but no, PJ's coming through, and I think he might just have to let this one go. He tries to challenge it, goes onto the grass, and he will have to let them go. And also Larlick, can he get the exit on the Aston? And he will. He's going to slot in through into turn 4, I'm sure, unless the Aston can try and outbrake themselves and get into... Nope, they can't get into P5 after all that, but still, they just need to kind of relax here, save the ERS a little bit and get back on it. Reese also might have a look, of course, with the ERS being absolutely dumped from the Aston, so really struggling energy-wise, but they should be good to go for now. Nifo trying to make their way up the order.
Yeah, Gibby, sorry, got really compromised with using his ERS, and now he's going to be swarmed by everyone. But here comes Nifo, he fixes the inside, goes right around the outside, he locks oils, and races round into the baseball stadium section. It's gone horribly, he cannot find the reverse gear, as that's also PJ round. PJ's also made a massive mistake. Andrews goes down the inside of him, and that's going to be Pate, but they're going to be battling side by side. PJ with the better traction due to the medium tyres, but he's got the shorter run, Andrews, and he retains position. So that's a mistake, and a bit of contact from the two Alpines. It's gone horribly for them.
Yeah, not ideal. A bit of chaos for them, even after some time from the restart. And there's contact there with the Mercedes. PJ, slight contact between the two higher-tier drivers into turn 1. That's not what we want to see, and Andrews loses a few positions. That does allow Matty to get up, and also JJ jumped a few positions there. We do have, I want to quickly say, Gary pretty close to the back of Mizzy at the moment. They caught up a lot, but they're losing it in the S section, so maybe they're pretty rapid in a straight line. I don't quite know, but they're so close. They need to push a little bit more if they want to get that DRS, and they might have a chance at going for a move here. It is very possible, as we will head onto lap 5. Benjamin losing more time after time, every single corner to the cars ahead. Larlick isn't close enough to challenge them, so they're kind of in no man's land at the moment. Matty rejoins the session, didn't even realise they disconnected, but here we go. Gary's going to look for a move for the lead. DRS available, he'll just catch up, it's no question about that. To the outside he'll go as he defends to the inside, does Mizzy. Mizzy might let this go, but no, he wants to hold on to it. Gary's going to get a second opportunity as we head down to turn 4. Will he get a good enough exit? Yes, he will. DRS available, he's going to get a lovely run. Will Mizzy have the straight line speed to try and defend it? I think they're going to do it on the brakes, actually, as Gary's going to have to think about letting it go. They'll be compromised into turn 5, and they will have to let that one go. But still, very good effort from Gary. They're going to be careful that they don't zap each other's energy and let Ben catch up too much.
Yeah, those two battle exceptionally well. As Mizzy's great defending, really kept them ahead there. Maybe that's what's key, track position. And now, speaking of, Niffel's going to be looking to get ahead of Larlick through the S section. He just needs to keep the car under control and planted, and he's done exactly that. Coming onto the straight now, Niffel's going to go around the outside into the stadium section. He gets hit a bit up the rear, but he gets his car stopped anyway, and that's him up into P4. Great move by Niffel. As we see Mildo and Matty struggling at the back, having a little bit of an excursion.
Yeah, that is Niffo making the move. Larlick trying to give it up just to minimise the fighting. Of course, high tier driver not really worth it. He might be able to get the DRS as well. Here's a Matty struggling, of course. The more times you disconnect and reconnect, it's just going to mess mentally a little bit and make you a little bit more agitated. It's really a shame to see, but it is what it is. Nothing we can do. We got Gibby in P6. They got 2 cars right behind them. Gilly can't seem to make a move on the straight, which I didn't realise I would be saying. But they also have EagerPro, the other Aston, right behind them. So if they don't make a move, I know EagerPro's a high-tier driver, but he might have to make some progress if that's not going to happen. Once again, missing the apex for turn 4, which ruins their any chance of a possibility for an overtake into turn 5, even though it's a pretty difficult corners to actually overtake at. But yeah, Gilly P7 struggling with the straight line speed, it may seem. EagerPro right behind. We got PJ, JJ all on their own, and Andrews the same. Reese, Meadow, Matty and Heisler further back the grid. Mizzy and Gary, they're close, but it's not close enough, as I think if he can get a little bit, no, he can't. So I think Mizzy is just about done enough to move away. As he gets on the traction, Gary gains a lot of time. I don't think it's enough to get the DRS, is it? Yes, it is. Okay. He's going to be able to catch. It's not going to be enough for an overtake. We need to be at least 6/10 behind if we do want to get an overtake on this straight. But right now, it's nothing that can be done.
Yeah, Mizzy's doing a great job at the moment, although he does have a 3-second time penalty. Oh, sorry.
Gilly makes the move.
For it.
Yeah, Gilly makes the move up ahead as the 2 Astons also have to go side by side. Gibby might lose this to EagerPro. If EagerPro can make it work to the outside line goes Gibby, as EagerPro has to give the position up to PJ due to a bit of contact, as that is the double DRS now as they try and have a bit of a drag down to turn 4. Not enough. PJ will go ahead. These 2 are very old rivals indeed, of course. The most experienced in LSI. PJ will take that position, try and make the progress, of course, as they lost quite a bit earlier on. Mildy and Matty, unfortunately, disconnecting once again.
Yeah, on other terms, Niffel is really, well, he's on the pace. I expected him to be. He's very quick in F1, and he's very quick now. He's catching up to Ben, who's doing well on that harder tyre compared to the top 2, must we remember. And they do have a penalty compared to Ben's. Well, he doesn't have a penalty, so this could be really looking good for Ben. But anyway, here comes Niffel. I think it's going to be a simple pass in the straight. Ben knows not to fight this. Niffel's going to use quite a lot of his battery here, just so he clears Ben. He's going to go down the inside, and that's just a simple move, which is understandable. But actually, Gary's compromised on Mizzy's line going into turn 3, so he's going to get a good exit, and will use his battery. It doesn't look like it at the moment. Coming into the end of the first sector once again, he's going to be defending to the inside. Mizzy is. Around the outside, Gary's going to go, but he can't find a way through. Mizzy's parking that car perfectly. So he's just unable to find a way through.
Race leaders up for grabs here as they both have time penalties, unfortunately, so pushing the limits. Now, Nifo is up ahead. If Ben can use this to his advantage, he will have a bit of a train going on, could catch up to the podiums, and with no time penalties, he will have a brilliant shot at going for a P1 position. Now, Gary seems to be very, very strong in the final corner, which is a high-speed traction zone corner, whereas Mizzy seems to be really good in the braking zones. So we'll have to see if Benjamin can catch up, if Nifo can also catch up to a DRS train. Very, very close once again is Gary. I think it might be a little bit too far away unless there's a difference in setup. A significant difference would help them, but no, it's way too far away to actually make a move at the moment. Benjamin also, it would be unwise to go for a move on a higher tier driver at this stage of the race. PJ, though, is going to go for a move on Gilly as they have the inside line, the DRS, no ERS, as that is Gilly almost matching them on the straight there because of that kind of situation. EagerPro also going to make a move on their teammate as Gibby will drop down the order, but they don't need to worry about that too much. They just need to focus on themselves at the moment. You've got JJ behind. He's back in the lobby, going to try and get towards Andrews. They're in the DRS range, but there's going to be a train forming here very, very soon.
Yeah, this top pack, this middle pack from P6 is a very good battle because you've got PJ on the medium tyres, who's kind of leading the charge towards Larlick and the top four. So he'll be very quick for the moment, but everyone else is on hard tyres, so they're going to have to just be looking after themselves, not get into too many battles, and preserve themselves from later on. But it's really tricky with the dirt here. As you can see, Gibby's already dropped back 1.5 seconds, and let's invite Andrews to go for a move into the stadium section. He will go. He does not look for the move at the moment, although his light is flashing, and that's Mizzy! Mizzy spun! He's lost the time, and he's spun, and he's down to P4. He's been pushing a bit too hard, it looked like, and he just lost it on the traction zone. As we said, Gary was very good during the traction zones, and that proves it with Mizzy, maybe on those older tyres, making that bit of a mistake, and that's him down to P4. But here comes Larlick. Larlick's on the head, down the inside of Mizzy, into turn one. Mizzy's been known for being good on the brakes. He hangs it around the outside for the moment, and he retains P4, but now coming onto the second straight, Larlick loses the back end a little bit, uses the ERS to try and gain, but for now I think he just needs to stick behind. I don't think he'll go for the move at the moment, and he won't. He'll retain that P5, but Mizzy with a crucial mistake which could have potentially cost him the race win.
Yeah, that is now on Nefo, and of course Benjamin all in clean air at the moment. Now Larlick was close, and they're pretty quick in a straight line compared to that Mercedes. But the tyres seem to be maybe overheating for these guys, as we are now on lap 10 out of 36. They've not got too much longer until they'll have to stop, and Gibby goes for a little bit of a spin, unfortunately. Going to lose a couple positions. Reese and JJ will both gain from that. No, Gilly will, as they will now have one less, of course, current tier driver right behind them. But they're currently in a higher tier driver sandwich, so they don't really need to worry at the moment. But no one at this stage is in DRS, so everybody's just in quite a bit of a gap at the moment. It's a different kind of train, if you like. So yeah, interesting to see for sure. PJ is probably most likely to have a go at a move out of anybody, but he's not even within the DRS of anybody yet.
Yeah, no one's in DRS, and those medium tyres will start to go off, so maybe within the next few laps, we'll be able to see people like Igor, Gilly, and obviously Ben and Niff will catch up to Gary and the rest of them more, because obviously they are on the better wearing tyres, which in short terms means that over time they will get faster than the medium runners. As Matty yet again going for a spin, I think those tyres are well best to sell by date, we could say. But coming into the section, PG's actually caught up. He's caught up to Larlick. He seems to be really struggling on those medium tyres. I mean, they both are, but Larlick seems to be having a bit of a worse time coming through into the stadium section. PG's down the inside of Larlick. He's going to try and hang it around the outside, but PG shuts the door. And he he takes P5 for the moment.
Lovely stuff. PJ making those moves, of course, spinning earlier on, but it doesn't seem to phase him. F1.5, he's very, very strong. If only we could see this in F1, that would be awesome for PJ. Larlick might be able to fight back if they are strong enough in a straight line. We saw they were pretty strong earlier on when fighting Mizzy, but they just didn't have the pace to stay in the corners. And yes, they are going to have the pace to get it on a straight line. PJ once again going to try and hold it around the outside. Both of these guys equal on tyres at the moment. But yeah, Larlock has the inside line. DRS will be available for Larlock, and he'll be able to hold on for now. That's going to allow Eager Pro to catch up as well, because he, well, doesn't have the DRS, but ERS-wise, PJ has absolutely blasted everything he had.
Yeah, PJ is trying to get ahead of Larlock for the moment, but Larlock, with that straight line speed you were mentioning earlier on, his highest roller tires in the pit lane, he said that he had very good straight line speed, and he's able to manage the ERS with it. Because with lower wings, you're going to be braking for longer, meaning the battery is going to be able to charge more. Although in the corners, as been proven at the moment, he's really struggling. And coming back into the stadium section, once again, it's going to be PG and Larlock, but he just can't find a way through, so he's going to have to wait for the main straight. But Anders has made a move. He's made a move on Gilly for P8, so Gilly is really struggling at the moment. And now Anders is up into P8, now onto the straight. These 3, 5, 6, and 7th. These guys are all going to be battling. It looks as though Larlock has got a lot of battery and a lot of straight line speed. PG has nothing to respond with, and Eager Pro is going to be looking for an avenue pass down into turn 1. It looks as though he has the straight line speed. Going down the inside, he's going to have to brake late and really send it, and he does. PG going a bit wide, of course, but he's managing to keep the minimum speed up. But he's went off track, so those medium tyres are proving to be very, very worn out at the moment. Eager Pro is going to go around the outside once again, coming into the end of the first sector. He's going to hang it right around the outside. He's got the inside for the next corner, and he's got it up into P6. Incredible move.
Vettel and Alonso kind of stuff right here. Lovely stuff to see, as that is now Eager Pro. Might he have a look at Larlock? It could be possible. Don't quite know what Eager Pro's style of setup is, but we do know that he is on that hard tyre, so he's only yet quicker at the moment. He's on the, I guess you could say, superior strategy. Now, I do want to have it all. Actually, they're very, very close. I do want to have a quick look, though, at the top two. Nevo, higher tier driver, of course, on that hard tyre as well, as Gary is not going to get any quicker with those tyres in a very, very similar situation to Larlock and Eager Pro. Will Nifo try and catch up and go for a move now? No, he will not be able to challenge. Larlock will possibly get challenged. They might even get overtaken by 2 people if they're not careful, of course, because Eager Pro is going to be right there. Oh, PJ really low on the ERS, so it's not really going to be as possible. They're going to have a look to the inside, try and challenge Larlock for the move. Now, are they going to still try and hold it to the inside? They're going to have to back off, let Larlock go, but it compromises his run. He'll give them another opportunity, but PJ's on the inside, and it doesn't allow Eager Pro to go for the move. And Larlock, what a run on the exit. He has to defend Eager Pro in the end, and they're both now on 0 ERS. The battle continues on to the very next lap, squirming both of them on the curbs. Eager Pro has to give it up, and then Andrews is now, after all of that, caught up and might be in a position to make a move himself. Will he get a good enough run to go for a move on the exit of turn 11? It really depends if he has the confidence in the final few S's. They do have the confidence, but it's not enough as Eager Pro once again struggling with the track limits in the S section, and that is what caused them yesterday to get so many time penalties, and once again might cripple them today when they cross the line. Nifo once again can't seem to get past Gary. They lose too much time in the final few corners. This train is going to carry on though, so we do have to look at this at the moment, as that is going to be PJ right there, going to be in a premier position to make a move. But would it be possible? Is the Red Bull going to be too slippery in a straight line? Everybody pretty much dead on ERS except from End Andrews, who's a little bit late to the party, as that is the Alpine to the inside. Larlock loses the run. They have to back off, and PJ's through. The DRS will be once again available, but no, Eager Pro's going to get a lovely run. End Andrews also could get involved. It's so close between the 4 of them. I don't believe what I'm seeing right now. Larlock could get the run as they compromise the top 2, of course, each other, but it's not enough. And Andrews is going to look for the move on the Red Bull as they sneakily get through. Larlock leaves it to them to deal with, and PJ will take that position.
Yeah, PJ moving up the order a little bit. It seems as though those medium tyres for him are hanging on at the moment, but he's went a bit wide, meaning that Eager Pro going into the stadium section once again is going to go up the inside of PJ, and he's done it. He's made the move up into P5. He's went a bit wide though. He's going to go off track. Yeah, PJ's not going to look for the move at the moment. As he spun! He spun right in front of Igor. Of PJ, sorry. And now coming onto the main straight, I'm not too sure if PJ is going to get DRS. Niffle moving up into the lead in the process. And here comes Andrews around the outside of PJ. Is he going to switch to the inside at the last second? No, he's going to keep to the outside. Not going to get that slipstream, and that's going to be him up into P4. Larlick is not going to go for a move. He actually goes off because he breaks himself in. It's a penalty. It's a 3-second penalty. And here comes Gilly. With all this battling and squabbling and just losing time with each other, Gilly's caught up to the battle now with a lot more ERS than every single one of these guys combined. So Gilly is going to be able to have a fight, but not at the moment. He just needs to retain position and wait for the next straight.
Looking at the higher tier drivers, of course, if you take away those guys, actually Gary's leading, Benjamin is in P2, and then we have Larlick in P3, so Gilly's looking for a podium here if they can get through. And if they can get through at this stage, they might be able to get in a bit of a train, and that would make it extremely difficult for Larlick to get through, but struggling in the S section, not able to get anywhere near that Red Bull at the moment, so they have to try and make it back on the straight. But if they lose DRS, it's not going to be any benefit. Now Larlick, he might have lost DRS to the cars ahead, but he will get the DRS off the lapped car of Matty. Unfortunately, Matty, of course, having the connection issues, they won't be penalised for disconnecting early, and that is Larlick into the pit lane to try and prevent Gilly from getting any motivation, satisfaction of going for the move, but he'll get some clean air now and try and get the overcut if possible. PJ and Andrews battling one another. Of course, Egopro not in this battle anymore. After all of that, he's close to the back of JJ, but not going to be in a position to make a move anytime soon. Now, looking at the top two, Gary's not that far away from Nitho, and they're actually going a little bit further than I would expect. Well, no, actually, never mind. The tyres, you can go a little bit longer on the mediums, but still, the pit window, I think, was on the previous lap. So they are going a little bit longer. They have the gap to do that and the confidence as well. So they can afford to do this. But on a traditional strategy, Benjamin is on the alternate strategy, who's really going to try and look for a way through later on in the race. Can Benjamin take back and get redemption from the last race, of course, in USA, where they got penalised after the race and lost that win down to P5 for them? But still, Benjamin really strong here. We knew he was strong in the last race around here, or in the past, I should say. Just had some connection issues this time. The internet is fixed. Gary into the pit lane now, onto that medium tyre, as everybody's going to go past, although PJ will not. Gilly will go past. Will Gilly give problems for Gary, as they are so close? And I say problems, it might not be problems if they time it right, of course. Gilly is on the hard tyre, so they got a little bit longer to go. The DRS train could help, and of course they do have that ghost car in between the two as well. So could Gary benefit from this, or is he going to lose out a little bit?
I reckon Gary's going to lose a lot of time. He needs to really heat up those hard tyres, and also, I don't know if you noticed, but he got a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. So he's going to be under immense pressure to gain all this time back. Ben's going to go in the fast and medium tyres toward the ends. So it looks as though everything's in favour of Ben at the moment. I'm not going to say he is going to win, because it's everyone can win at this point in the race, but Ben's looking very good at the moment. Gary still needs to hit up those hard tyres. He cannot maintain any speed at all through that S section. He's really struggling, and that's why the advantage of starting on the hard tyre is such a beneficiary, especially when you're not struggling going 2 seconds a lap slower due to the cool tyres. So we'll have to wait and see. He will be fast near the end of the race, but Eager Pro's retired in the stadium section. Is that going to cause any type of safety car? It's not actually at the moment. And no, it's not. It's not going to be a safety car. He's crashed at a very peculiar spot.
Yes,
and it is. It is. Oh my goodness. Benjamin, Niffle, and the hard tyre runners that have stayed out are absolutely loving it right now. And we're not sponsored by McDonald's before anyone asks. But Ben's going to get a free pit stop. Maybe not come out in the lead, but it'll come out right behind Gary. He's also Gilly's going to get a free stop also, which isn't good for Ben because he'll be right behind Gary also. So it's a win-lose, but this really opens up the race.
Yeah, both McLarens, of course, not struggling with the track limits at the moment, of course, so they're going to benefit a lot. So yeah, he won't have the lead when he goes into the pit lane and exits the pit lane, but he will have an extreme advantage because everybody's going to be so close to each other. That would just be absolute godsend for him, and it will allow him to not focus, or not focus, relax a little bit more, I should say. He needs to focus, of course, but he can relax a bit, just take it easy, and everybody's going to be so close, and it will not allow the guys with the time penalties to actually escape. So Gary will take, I think he might take the lead. No, Nifo will do enough to get back out of that pit lane. Benjamin actually might be even closer than I thought. He is leaving the pit lane now. It's gonna be side by side, but no, Benjamin will lead the Mexican Grand Prix with no time penalties and the superior strategy. He's on the medium tyre. Gary's tyres will be safe to the end, but Benjamin is in the net race lead. I don't believe it. Nifo, of course, is a higher tier driver, so this is for the win. Benjamin running in P2. That is amazing.
Yeah, well, this is now Benjamin's race to lose. He's really, well, I would say, I mean, we all know what I'm going to say. It's the Benjamin way. He's done it once again. I don't know how he does it. He must have called some of his contacts at, F1.com or whatever, and he's done it. No. On a serious note, Ben's played that very well. A safety car wasn't necessarily inevitable as he gets a, oh my days, he's got a penalty on the safety car. I've spoken and, oh man,
okay,
it's fine
so
though, it's fine.
Unfortunately, that might not be removable. Unless they've got a... Oh, kidoki. That is not nice. The safety car has lagged out. Disqualified?
Oh no.
Oh, no.
But only Gary's been disqualified.
Okay, so it lagged. Now everybody's going to be lapped. Gary is disqualified from the session. Because that's one person, I don't know if anything can be done. What on earth just happened? Gary's been disqualified from a potential race victory right here. I don't really know what can be done. Nothing at the moment. Safety car is going to just let everybody lap or go around. Gary leaves the session. No crap. I don't believe that. So I think that might have been due to the lobby being a little bit bugged. Of course, Mirz or Matty, I hate to put the blame, but they did join and disconnect from the session multiple times, which really screws with the lobby itself. So
Ben spawned the safety car.
Oh no! Benjamin's going to lose the lead, and also, of course, he's going to end up with a time penalty under the safety car, just not able to keep it together, and he's left the session! Benjamin having issues. Gilly won't be able to make the move. They almost made it, but no. What has gone on? Benjamin left the session. I don't know if that's a connection issue. Maybe they had some screen freezes and then the game crashed. That could possibly make sense because they were paused when they were rejoining the circuit. So I don't think this is what we expect it to be at the moment. I don't quite know. But what on earth has just happened? Gary has the issues. Desync. Okay. Alrighty. So I'm gonna have a quick look at a few things. Give me a second. Sorry for the delay.
Yeah, that was very weird for the safety card. I was looking at Ben's point of view at the time, and the safety card disappeared. So I was just about to ask what happened. I looked behind, and the safety car was there, and Gary got disqualified. Obviously, that is most likely down to desync. But I mean, there's nothing we can do, man. That's real unfortunate. Gary was looking good for maybe not a win, but for a really good result, maybe a podium, especially without having to stop in the good pace he showed on the medium. So that's unfortunate, but I think we just have to go on. We do apologise to Gary for that. I was gonna say minor inconvenience, but that's quite a big inconvenience. Doing 20 laps. Who's that? Missy spun on the safety car. So we thought it was weird of Ben spinning on the safety car, but it seems to be catching everyone out. JJ, I'm guessing, had to let the.
Yeah, sorry to butt in. I think we will have to restart the race, so I do apologise because lots of people are having issues here. Of course, Gary also being DSQ'd, so I do apologise. We'll be back very, very shortly, so we'll see you in a bit. Thank you very much for waiting. We will be there very, very shortly. About a minute's time, we will be doing a 25% race, and we're going to get straight into it, so be ready. Ready? Hold for the second time! Go! Who's gonna get it into turn one? Will Niffo get away? Well, yes, they're starting on pole position. Matty spinning off the line. Benjamin, will they get challenged by End Andrews? I think they probably will. This is a great opportunity for the higher tier drivers, but they've got to be careful. Mizzy right behind. They want to try and capitalize on this one. Of course, they took pole position. They know they're quick. No time penalties now. Everybody has been reset. Mizzy tries to get to the back of Benjamin. Benjamin takes that P2, and they're going to try their best, and so close, as that's the Aston of Gibby making a surprise move on Mizzy. That is amazing. I didn't expect that one at all. The tyres, everybody's on softs or they're on medium, so that is why Gibby's going so aggressive. No surprise there, as he's really trying to make these work. What a restart.
Yeah, Gibby getting an absolute flyer of a start on the soft tyres, but Anders is all over the back of Ben as Gibby starts to fall off a little bit. Maybe overheating issues already coming into the stadium section for the first time. No one's going to be close enough to make a move, not the back either. So it's Niffo that leads for Ben and Anders. But here comes Mizzy. He looks to be very fast on those tyres as we see Gibby's latest fashion. And I presume that he can't run out of ERS, so that's him. Use all his deployment for the lap. And coming onto the straight now, but no one's close enough at the moment. There's no DRS.
And
actually,
Andrew's
never
up.
mind. Yep, he's gone for a move around the outside. He's got a bit more pace in that Mercedes car coming into turn one, and he's kept the move nice and simple. And he's done it. He's up into P2. Ben might have to use Anders now to streak ahead and maybe catch up to Niffo.
They know that Gibby's going to be quick on that soft tyre, but they just have to keep them behind for as long as possible without risking their race too much, of course. And that way, they might have a chance at taking this win, as they, well, I say deserve, might have got if we didn't have to do this restart, of course. And Mizzy also, he's going to be quick. He needs to play this really strategically, but right now he's not that close to the rest of the field. DRS isn't available, so they will have another opportunity, but sliding through the S section, not looking too quick in the corners. They're struggling a little bit, but yeah, the issues are not quite gone at the moment, but it's still all to play for right now. It just depends if they can get those tyres switched on. Time penalty there for Mealdale, unfortunately. But Benjamin not going to be pressured right now. There's a pretty big gap. No one's going to get DRS, however, yet, so we'll have to wait and see. The top two drivers, higher tier drivers, might have a look at a battle on their own as well. JJ probably pretty close. I say that. Gilly also going to be challenged by PJs there. Glitching around the circuit a little bit. PJ absolutely blasted the ERS, but Gilly isn't going to let it hinder him, as he wants to hold on because he knows Larlet will be right there as well. Both these guys pretty quick in a straight line, I will say, but right now they're just holding on. Gilly, I think, unless Larlet wants to have a go on the brakes, but no, way too far back to do so. JJ up ahead, having to go defensive on PJ. PJ might have had a run, but it's quickly denied. JJ will just about hold on, but they're going to lose DRS as he does get challenged, unfortunately.
I've started to notice already that Gibby's absolutely falling off the back of Benjamin at the moment, but here comes Mizzy. He's got the DRS. Yeah, he's lost in the back end. He's lost it, and coming into the stadium section, he's not going to be able to make the move. He's going to have a bit more traction. I believe those soft tires seem to be overheating like mad for Gibby. As he goes down the inside into the stadium section, a bit of contact with the side pods, but he's made the move up into P3. That was some very touchy racing, but in a way it was good because he's made the position up nice and fairly. Now coming onto the straight, DRS will be enabled for Gibby, as he's actually, I think he's ran out of VRS. Coming into turn 1, that's not going to affect him though. He's going to go down the inside of Mizzy, and he's going to retain the fourth at the moment. Mizzy always going on the brakes, and it shows once again he tries to go around the outside, the door shuts on him. He's not going to get the DRS, although he will have a lot more ERS. Will he use it to battle for the moment? No, he doesn't. PJ is on the back of JJ coming into the end of the first sector. Once again, he's going to go down the inside of JJ. The McLaren simply not having much tyre to defend with at the moment. He's squeezing him off. PJ's been pushed off the track. He's going to stay around the outside though, and he can't do it for the moment. There's a massive group of cars all battling for P6, and the 5th and 4th are broken away a little bit. And Mizzy is going to get the DRS, as we see Gibby is really struggling, just in general. And JJ also manages to just get the DRS to defend from PJ.
Once again, Mizzy can have a look into the stadium section. No, but contact there as they're going so slow on these soft tyres. The soft tyres just aren't able to cope with the temperatures at this station. Lots of people, they might have used a setup that's made for a 50% race, so the tyre temperatures for a set of softs are going to be through the roof and not quite working too well. Mizzy's not going to be able to challenge the cars ahead. JJ will be right there, but not enough, as that's Gilly on the inside of the Red Bull Larlock. As Larlock, I don't know if it was a defensive maneuver or an overtaking maneuver. No one else going to be able to make have a good enough run to make an overtake. Larlock's close, but not close enough right now. And looking at the top two, of course, they are running away with it. Benjamin in no man's land once again, just vibing at the moment. And yeah, this is a brilliant moment for Benjamin. And it didn't look like the restart was really in his favour, but it's even better than he had before, of course.
Yeah, Gibby really struggling on the soft tyres, as we've been stating before. Ben absolutely vibing in P1 at the moment. Gibby just really struggling as he goes to the back end once again. Yeah, PJ's going to go down the inside of JJ. JJ's going to hold it around the outside if he can. There's a bit of side pod banging once again. Down the inside goes, around the outside, sorry, goes Mizzy of Gibby. And PJ's went around the outside of JJ. And that's Mizzy up into P4 and PJ up into P6. JJ losing the back end also. So it's going to get really frisky in turn 1 because everyone starting to lose the back end, starting to use all their battery available to them. Into turn 1, Gilly's actually getting matched from the straights by Larlock. Larlock's going a little bit faster. Into turn 1, they go now. Larlock on the softer tyres shouldn't have too much of an advantage anymore. And it shows he just can't find a way through in the DRS train. Now, coming into turn 4, Gibby on Mizzy once again. These guys have been scrapping the whole race. He's going to find the gap down the outside. I can't believe it. They've made a lot of contact. And Mizzy's went completely straight on due to it. He needs to watch out and he gets a 3-second time penalty, but that might not be too true. Gibby retaining P4 at the moment, but it's a bit of controversial, especially during that incident that they've just had. Gilly up at the P7. He's been spun by the Red Bull of Larlock. There's more contact, and I won't be surprised if that's Larlock with some damage. So it's all kicked off within the last few sectors or so. And here comes PJ. PJ is getting around the outside of Gibby. Gibby breaks really late. He's on the curb, and he smacks PJ. And he's lost so much time in position. And now Reese is going to go up the side of Gibby. Reese gets a penalty for doing so in terms of corner cutting, but he's made the move stick. Gibby dropping down so much places, and it's just not looking good for them whatsoever.
Yeah, 2 time penalties that might be able to get removed from, of course, Reese and Mizzy. Gibby's tyres, we knew they were going to die, but they died even harder than we could ever have believed. Now, Gilly right there, but behind as they have Mizzy trying to get back past PJ. Mizzy has that time penalty, but other than that, they should be good to go. But the gap is so big to Benjamin ahead. They want to try and get ahead. PJ is going to be dead with that ERS, so it is actually, is there a question of who is faster? Will Mizzy be able to get through and try and catch up to Benjamin or not? We're under halfway left of this race. So we are running out of time. It's gone a lot quicker than we expected, but it's definitely gone Benjamin's way nevertheless. Gilly also now might have a possible look, of course. PJ dead on the ERS, Mizzy not so much, but if Gilly can get close enough, he might have a go at a double overtake. It's possible. Another 3 second there for Mizzy. Either they're making some mistakes and they've gone and got themselves an actual time penalty now, or they're getting a couple double time penalties, so they might be able to get one removed still, but that is possibly not going to get a second time penalty removed. That is really unfortunate for Mizzy. Looking really, really good. But yeah, bit of controversy. That's going to have to be investigated between the two. The Aston, of course, of Gibby. It was hard racing and good to begin with, but it just got a little bit aggressive towards the end. And actually, that is Mizzy losing the DRS. So Gilly might have a go. They're going to catch a lot here, but not enough to make a move at this stage of the race.
Bearing in mind that Mizzy and Gibby made contact, so those penalties may have came from the potential damage that Mizzy could have had, but he seems to be retaining pace at the moment. He's a little bit slower than PJ, but that's to be expected when he's an F1 driver. So Mizzy really trying his best here. He keeps on losing the car. He can't go over the curbs as much. Maybe I don't want to listen too technical here, but the aerodynamics are getting interrupted because of this potential damage. But let's not gloss over it too much. Coming through the middle sector now, he seems to be retaining a good pace through here, so he's doing very well nonetheless. As he cuts the corner there, and that's going to be another warning, so he really needs to be careful in case he gets a 6 second. Gilly is not going to be close enough at the moment, but remember that Ferrari straight line speed. It's like, what did you say earlier on, 2019, when the fuel flow strategy? I mean, that's just Gilly. He's always fast in the straights. It's the way he makes himself. It's what he likes. That's how he's won races before, and I've no doubt he's going to win more in the future. But for now, he's going to be battling for the P2 spot. Coming into turn 1, he's going to have a lot more straight line speed than Mizzy. He's not going to go for the move into turn 1, I don't believe, unless he's an absolute madman. But I think Gilly's much more sensible than that coming into turn 1 now. He's going to wait for the moment, and he's going to hopefully, for his sake, get the move done into turn 4. But Mizzy's got a great exit there. Mizzy on the traction. He's learned from his mistakes beforehand. He clearly is understanding the car more, and he managed to get a great exit, and Gilly can't compete.
Yeah, fair enough to Mizzy, managing to keep the fastest straight line man alive behind. Reese, interestingly, has gone for a very, very early pit stop, which I'm not quite sure is the best idea. They've got a long way to go on these softs. Now, in the old game, that would make sense, but in this game, it's not really going to make any sense. They're going to have a hard time later on, and of course, we saw Gibby struggling on the tyres even once we reached lap 4. So I don't know what's going to happen here. End Andrew's going to have a look here at Nifo maybe for the first time this race. Will it be possible? I don't know if these guys have been battling before, but this is the first time we will get to see it to the outside line as Nifo goes defensive. Both of these guys on the same strategy, same amount of time penalties, so they're going to be good to go, and this will be for the win at the moment. End Andrews has a bit of an advantage, of course, by being behind. He can pressure Nifo, one into mistakes and also to use that ERS. As you can see, he's already flashing on that light, so he's got to be really careful. We've not got that long to go in this race. Also, undercuts, overcuts, I don't know how the strategy will be. Reese is going to get a mega undercut, but will it be enough to cater for the tyre wear disadvantage that he will have later on in the race? I don't quite know.
Yeah, Reese is on the undercut strategy. He's going to be really pushing on those fresh soft tyres. He's going to be a couple seconds lap quicker, which seems a bit dramatic, but he will be. Those soft tyres are really good. He's already caught 2 seconds to JJ in 1 lap, so that proves how good those soft tyres are doing to him at the moment. as we look further up, it looks as though Anders...
Niffo into the pit lane.
Niffle's pit. So Niffle, it looked as though he was out of battery and he didn't have anything to fight with. Now, Andrews, he's using that battery, he's going to go for the overcut, which didn't prove to do too well in the F1 race for some other drivers. It seemed to do that undercut was the superior strategy, gaining a sublime amount of time. But Niffle, on that undercut strategy, like he did in F1, and it will probably pay dividends, as that soft tire will be very easy to heat up. Although he's got Gilly flying down the straight at rocket ship speeds, no like exaggeration on there. But he decides, you know what, I'm going to stay by Niffle for the moment. He's on the soft tire, there's no point of battling him when it will be much quicker and pressurising me in the corners. I mean, look at that traction out of that corner, which doesn't necessarily need too much traction, which is stupid, but he's already pulling away so much. Let's just watch. Oh no! Gilly spun! Gilly spun coming out of turn 4! Gilly on those medium tyres. He was going to stay behind Niffle, maybe get the DRS, but now he's bottled it. His tyres are going to be absolutely roasting hot, and he's going to have to be careful that he doesn't spin once again. But that's unfortunate for Gilly. He's going to lose so much time to, well, Ben. He's going to lose so much time to Ben, and that maybe seals it for him, man.
Yeah, Gilly's going to lose a lot of time from that, but look at Mizzy. Right now he's pitted and he's now got Gibby up ahead. So they do have a little bit of a rivalry, of course, and a couple time penalties for Mizzy's name. They're on different strategies, so it would really be harsh for Gibby to fight this, but not impossible, of course, as Mizzy wants to try and get ahead of Gilly, because this is for position, and if he did get enough of an advantage, of course, it would be brilliant for him and the time penalties, but he goes to the outside line now as they go into the stadium section, makes the move around the outside, goes off the circuit a little bit, but to be fair to him, the Aston was going extremely wide, so I don't know if he really had much of a choice for it, but he's lost the car into the wall, and he's drowned! No way! No! Mizzy! More problems! He's gonna have to take it to the pit lane and look for a fastest lap instead, but Mizzy looking at a possible win, and it's not going to work after all. I don't believe it. No way has that just happened. Gilly benefiting massively here. Niffo and Andrews so close.
I just wanted to point out that Andrews put a lap later and is only a second behind, so he will be in a few percent less soft tyres, which might actually help him towards the end as Larlick leaves the section, unfortunately. So let's hope to get him back in. But as we see, Andrews not over the back, but he is catching Niffo as Benjamin comes into the pit lane. And now onto the DRS straight. He's going to get the DRS. He does have a bit more battery. I'm not sure by how much exactly, but I can tell he's got a bit more. Coming onto the straight now. He's not going to obviously pass him, but he's going to be able to save the battery. Looking further back now, Gilly is going to be stuck behind Gibby on those medium tyres. The medium tyre strategy, well, from the soft to medium, doesn't seem to be paying off today, as it shows that in the last few laps of the stint, that Gibby was just struggling. So maybe the higher fuel load was doing a lot of damage to the tyres. In the meantime, on the straight, PJ on Reese, he's going to go around the outside. Reese defends to the inside with literally no battery left. Down into turn 1, and PJ makes the move. Reese realises that he has a higher tier driver and won't really battle him. And Gilly's, I look away for 2 seconds, and Gilly's already ahead as Mizzy retires in the pit lane. Gilly and that Ferrari, there's nothing stopping them on the straight line. Maybe the corners, but definitely not the straights. That car is so fast, and it's illegal, man. It's mad.
Yeah, he's done it though. Reese losing the position, of course, to their teammate today, but not too much of a worry because they're a higher tier driver. So Reese is looking at a P2 here. They've got to make sure that they keep this. Gilly is on a lot fresher tyres, and also no time penalty, so it's going to be a tight one for sure. But never say never, of course. Gilly right now in clean air. They don't have to worry about Gibby behind, although they might be able to come back later on, but I don't think it's going to really be too much of a worry for them. They can have such a pace advantage right here. And then, of course, they don't really have any dirty air up ahead, so they're just going to be going for quali laps and doing their absolute best. Reese could have possibly had the DRS train from their teammate, but unfortunately they weren't able to keep with him. So that is not ideal, of course, but it is what it is. The top two still close together, but not close enough to make any moves at the moment. I think Andrews is probably waiting for the last couple of laps to get Nifo to try and just burn everything that he possibly can. But right now, yeah, Andrew's just going to have to wait here. Gilly in P6 trying their best. This is going to be the story of all time. Yeah,
Andrews and Nifl have an absolute insane battle here, although it doesn't look like it visually. The way they're thinking of this, they need to be very smart about it. They need to decide, will overtake now, will overtake not. Well, let's see. On to lap 15, we've got 4 more laps to go, including this one, of course. And now into turn 1, Andrews is going to go right around the outside. Obviously, into turn 1 once again. But Nifl goes down the inside! He dives down the inside! It's an absolute crazy dive bomb to retake the lead of the Grand Prix. Now coming into turn 4 now. The end of the first sector. This is a normally a good place to overtake. Andrews is going to go down the inside, but he doesn't have the braking performance of Nifl. Nifl clearly able to brake later. He's going to do the all switcheroo there down the inside, but he can't do it. But he's going to sneak his nose up the inside. But for now, it's going to be Nifl who retains the lead. But he doesn't look like he's got any battery left, and Andrews does look like he's got some. So, his strategy of depleting Nifl's battery has worked indeed, so now he's going to have to try and get past into the stadium section. I don't think it's going to be applicable to overtake right now, and yeah, it's not going to be. He's going to have to stay behind for the moment. This is a great battle.
Yeah, really good stuff between the two. I think Nifo knows that if he does let Anders go, he will just have to, well, he won't be able to get back through because Anders, of course, is very quick in a straight line. So Nifo doesn't really have much of a choice at the moment. And as you can see also, they can pretty much hold off Anders for the rest of the lap. So if they can maintain the position right now, then Anders won't be able to challenge later on. Has to go to the inside line as the inside does close off. Has to go to the outside line, I should say. Once again, Nifo going for that move. Will the second run of the second DRS straight be enough? And yes, they get a good exit. Nifo struggles onto the traction. Anders will have the outside line going to the wrong camera, but to the inside now. He has the advantage to switch back. 2.0 is going to be right here. This time he's a lot further ahead, and he's going to have the inside line. Nifo can't do anything. The run will not be there, but it will. It will. He has the inside line. He has the advantage. Anders backs off. Lives to fight another day. Oh, what a move there. What a move. Nifo absolutely charging through here, trying his best. He knows what he's doing. He knows he's just got to get the job done, but we're running out of laps here for Nifo, and the ERS is only getting lower, and Andrews also, he can't waste too much time to get through, because like I said, by the time you get to the line, it does look like Nifo has the advantage. Of course, they cross the line first each lap, so Anders has to get through on this lap. The next lap is possible, but it's leaving it rather late, I would say.
Yeah, it's going to be very late if he does go for it in the last lap, but it looks as though he's going for it right now. He's going to try around the outside once again. Nifl blocking the inside line as per usual. He's got the lead back again. That's not very surprising considering he's done it before. Coming onto the straight now, he loses the back end a little bit. Nifl, is he going to defend to the outside and do his old little trick that he does? Andrews is going to go down the inside once again. He's going to force Nifl wide, and he does it. Nifl's went wide. He's going to do the switcheroo once again, but Nifl blocks it off by going to the inside just a tiny bit more than what he done last time, and he's kept it. Nifl into P1 for the moment. Coming onto the last lap in a couple of corners time, Andrews has got a lot more battery, it looks like, and it's true. He's got so much more battery to deplete than Nifl. It just needs to stay with him, and then he'll maybe take the lead. I don't know what's going to happen. Coming onto the final few laps into the stadium section though for the penultimate time, they really need to stay focused here. Make sure the car gets traction nice and smoothly. You don't want to lose the back end, otherwise you could compromise your run, giving the other person the win of the race. Now, coming onto the last lap now, Andrews, I expect, is going to use every last ounce of that battery. He's depleting it. It's the closest he's ever been onto the DRS detection point. Coming through into turn 1, Nifl defends to the inside once again. Andrews is going to squeeze into the inside, pinch him, but he's already through. He's already through into the lead. into turn 1. He's done it. He's going to get the DRS for the second straight as well. So he's going to keep the lead for the moment. He's got a lot more battery to deplete than Niffle. Niffle's looked to make a mistake here, and he can't get back past. Niffle with a little bit of a back end loss, and Andrews has sailed past on the fresh or soft tyres too. He's played this to absolute perfection. He just needs to stay relaxed, calm, and disciplined through the middle sector. But for now, it looks like he's going to go Andrews' way.
And looking back with these guys now, Gilly has a look to the back of Reese, but they don't need to worry. The time penalty is there. They're just going to try and live to fight another day. Will it be possible? I don't know if he's going to get the run. ERS is to his advantage. Nifo and Andrews will not switch around this time, as that is Reese gonna go for it, but they move to the racing line, moving the braking a little bit. There's contact between the two, very questionable, but it is what it is. We're gonna look at these guys, and Andrews comes around the final corner and he will win the Mexican Grand Prix. What a battle between these guys. Nifo deserves a round of applause as well, but this guy has been an absolute legend, Mr. Consistency himself. Benjamin is gonna cross the line, no time penalty today, P3 but P1 in the EU Drivers' Championship. What a job. That is another win for Benjamin. PJ will finish in P4. Reese, he's gonna try and hold on. He will cross the line, it looks like, to take a P2 for the EU drivers, but Gilly will have it on the time penalties in the end. What a battle between these guys. Reese takes the P3 after all, and Gilly will get that P2. JJ crosses the line in P7. Great to see JJ back in this. Gibby eventually gets that P8. Not what they wanted, but still a great effort. Larlock in P9. And of course, disconnected was Matty there. But what a race we just had. And Andrews winning overall, and Benjamin, absolutely amazing effort from him. Didn't really need to worry about anything though. Just no contest.
Yeah, that battle at the front was absolutely electrifying. I can't believe that was one of the best races I've ever seen in, well, quite a while, let's just say. Although the lobby had to be restarted, and we thank you all for your patience. I mean, that was a race worth waiting for, don't you say?
Yeah, much better than watching Quali for sure. Alrighty, and Andrews takes P1, Nifo in P2, and then Benjamin in P3. We have got PJ, Gilly, Reese, JJ, Gibby, Larlock in P9. Then we have Matty, of course, disconnecting, followed by Mizzy, who DNF'd earlier on. What a shame for them. They had a lot of pace this race. Of course, with that pole position, we've got the driver's incident section to go through, and then we will check through the pit stop section, and then we will be back for the post-race interviews. We'll see you in a bit. Hello everyone and welcome back to LSI F1.5 Championships. We're today for the Mexican Grand Prix post-race interviews. What a race we just had. Benjamin, you taking a very, very nice win there. The restart wasn't probably what you wanted, but in the end it did make everything a lot better for you. You weren't really challenged too much after lap 1, and then you just ran away with it. Can you take us through maybe both races if you like? I don't know.
Well, race 1. I thought it was a good idea in practice to use the ghillie setup, since it's impossible to overtake somebody using it, and I realised it's absolutely rubbish through corners. So I switched it up last second, and I didn't use the hard tyre yet, so I was pretty slow on the first race. But Mizzy and Gary M kept making mistakes. Mizzy made a mistake, I think, and then Gary had tons of penalties. So I was kind of cruising on the hard tyre until I got to the medium. Then the race restart happened, and Anders had a better start than me, I think, but I had the slipstream from Nifo, so Anders a bit more tentative under brake, and I just went up his inside, because I thought maybe he might hold me up into Mizzy. So I've just planned on just trying to break the pack and get moving a bit early on. So I did that. Anders passed me, and then he was pretty much cruising.
Yeah.
With everybody else fighting behind.
I mean, fair enough. Really well done. Another win on the cards and extending the championship lead. So lovely redemption from last weekend. Next one, that will be Saudi Arabia. Do you like a high-speed flowing track?
I think so. We'll see. A lot of tracks that surprised me. I didn't really like America in the last game. I liked it on this one. I liked Mexico in the last game, but I hated it today. It was rubbish. Zero grip. Like, I spun like 3 times in the last few laps just trying to find extra time. But luckily I had my lead, so...
Yeah, okay. Awesome. Really well done. One last question. How do you describe your race in 3 words?
I don't know, man. P1 today, baby? I don't know. I ain't got enough...
Yeah, no. Fair enough. Thank you very much. Really well done. Really well done today. Well deserved. And we'll see you next time. And we move on to End Andrews. I think he's here. End Andrews. Well done today. Really good job. Sorry to cut to you straight away. We're just going down the list. What a legend. Going from, of course, the back as a higher tier driver up to P1. A lovely battle in the end. Were you confident you were going to be able to get ahead on the final few laps, or was it a little bit more risky compared to what you thought? I don't know.
I think it was like 4th lap on the medium stint. On the first stint, I saw that he was flashing, and pretty much since then I knew that I should be able to make it. So yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, before the restart, do you think you'd have been in contention for the win, or are you happy about the restart?
Well, the restart obviously helped me, but I'm not sure. Depends. Like 3 people spun behind the safety car, so I don't know if you can count that. But if that didn't happen, I probably wouldn't be able to get info.
Yeah, I mean, still, it happened. We can't really change that, and you still managed to take the advantage and get it done. So really well done. Really well deserved, and you've done it. A win in LSI. Well done. Next one, I don't know if you're going to be here, so don't worry about that. But Saudi Arabia, do you like the circuit in general?
I don't mind the circuit. I don't like everything else that's there. But yeah, the circuit itself isn't bad.
Fair enough. Well done today. One last question. How would you describe your race in 3 words?
Nifo is slow.
Thank you very much. I'll see you next time. Well done today. And we move on to Gibby. Gibby, it was worth a shot. The soft tyre on the start. Do you think that was the wrong choice, maybe?
Not really. I mean, had a good start, but lost a lot of positions in the second half of the race. Plus, setup didn't help. So.
Yeah, didn't quite help. But the were you glad for the restart or not so much?
Yeah, I got into a way better position than I were before. And I could have gotten no points before, but I did get some points now.
Yeah.
Glad
Yeah.
I could get something.
Yeah, yeah. Really good job, though. It was a great effort, and thank you for entertaining us so well done today. Saudi Arabia. Do you like that circuit?
Given the right setup, yeah, I think it's a very, very nice, very nice flowing circuit. Yeah.
Yeah, awesome, awesome. Do you think you can do better than Mexico?
Yeah, Mexico isn't really one of my strong spots.
Fair enough, fair enough. One thing left to say. My speech is all over the place. How would you describe your race in 3 words?
Quite messy.
Thank you very much, and we'll see you next time. Well done today. And we move on to Gilly. Gilly, debut for Ferrari. Wasn't too bad in the end. You take a P2 for the EU drivers. Are you happy with that one?
I'm happy with that. I'm annoyed that I spun, but I'm glad it didn't really have an effect. I hope Sawyer's penalties were all legit.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, did a really good job. Are you happy for the restart? I guess you are.
I think I was in quite a good position either way, because there were a lot of F1 drivers in front, but on before the restart, I got the free pit stop, so I jumped some people as well, I think.
Oh yeah, fair enough, fair enough. I forgot about that. Yeah, we kind of just skipped over it, of course, with the restart. Saudi Arabia. We know that you like high speed setups, low downforce setups. Saudi Arabia is fairly low on the downforce. Do you like Saudi Arabia because of that, or not so much?
I like the track, but I'm not quick at this track because I'm scared of the walls.
Fair enough, fair enough. I mean, maybe the long straights will help you out. I don't quite know. But one last question. How would you describe your race in 3 words?
Happy at Ferrari.
Thank you very much, and we'll see you next time. Well done today.
Thank you.
And we move on to Mizzy. Mizzy, so much pace, pole position, but didn't go quite to plan. Both in, of course, the first start of the race and then the restart. Can you tell us how everything went?
Yeah, so I feel like I had a pace to win, of course. Like, since I took the pole position, I was feeling very confident, but I made a lot of clumsy mistakes throughout the race. In the first one, I spun just out of nowhere, coming out of the last corner, lost so many positions doing that, and yeah, in the second race, I got another shot. I thought I can be at least on the podium because of the line. I went from P7 to like P5. Was working really good, but then I had like then I had a fight with the Aston Martin. We made quite a bit of contact, and yeah, I got orange front wing from that, so I couldn't really compete from there. And then I just retired for the session because I would just fall back, like right back to the pack, and that wasn't worth it for me. So yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. It's a shame, no points today, but still great pace, and it's a step up. So really well done. Saudi Arabia, do you prefer that track over Mexico? Do you think you can possibly win there?
100%. I think I'm gonna be even quicker in Saudi Arabia than here in Mexico.
Awesome, awesome. That's what I like to hear. Lovely stuff. Really well done. One last question. How would you describe your race in 3 words?
Not really good.
Thank you very much, and we'll see you next time. Well done today.
Yeah.
And we move on to Nifo. Nifo, so close. The restart really did screw you over a little bit. But are you happy with that battle?
No. Bro, it's again, I mean, I'm unlucky as always, so I didn't know what to... It was to be expected that I would be... I would gain a disadvantage one way or another. Even after driving a good race for the first stint, I probably would have pulled away in the second stint as well with the safety car. But yeah, I mean, the first race I just made up a lot of positions on the start as well. It went very smoothly. Then I just didn't want to ruin Gary's race, so I was being very conservative to overtook him, and then just driving away, and the safety car came out. And then did all the desync, and then the second race, yeah, I mean, there's nothing I could do, really. Like, I was in the worst place to start if you're first. Like, the second place just has to stay behind, leech up the DRS. He can save the DRS, save the tires, save everything. So I was just stuck. So I was expecting, like, after lap 13, I was like, I've lost. I was trying, but yeah, there was just nothing I could do really. But yeah, just unlucky again.
I mean, I think you did everything that you needed to. I think you did everything right to hold on for as long as you could. So, still, well done. You really deserved a good result. It's a shame it's not what you wanted in the end, but still, really good job. What was I going to say? In the most non-weird way, your rear end seemed to be very, very loose. Is that the case? You struggled on the traction, maybe, or am I just chatting?
Yeah, I mean, I've had like very little practice. I mean, out of 25%, which usually have a bit more, but that might be the case. I must say, I was drifting around a bit more. I went back to my instincts, so I didn't short shift like I did yesterday. So I lost a little bit of time. It was still too little to get out of the DRS because the straight is too long to escape.
Yeah. I mean, still, good points, good battles, good data. You should be happy and proud of your progress. So really well done. One last question. Not one last question. Next question. Saudi Arabia. Do you like that one?
No. Straights. I'm bad at straights, so no.
Fair enough, fair enough. One last question. How would you describe your race in 3 words?
Mercedes lucky again.
Thank you very much. We'll see you next time. Well done today.
Thank you.
And on to PJ now. PJ, the pace was there. It was looking really good. Was it P4?
P4.
Yeah, really well done. It was really, really good. Can you take us through that one? Obviously, practice yesterday, I guess, helped a little bit as well.
Yes, of course. But it's really funny. The one time I don't stream a race, I have the most exciting race ever and the best pace and everything. So I think I should stop streaming. But
maybe you need to record it and then upload it to YouTube afterwards.
Yeah, true. But yeah, it was so exciting. The first race was so exciting. Going from the back to the front, doing so many overtakes and harsh battle with Aiga Pro, Lala. And I'm really sorry for Andrew because in the first race I had an incident with him. So I really need to apologize for that. But also in the second race, I had so much grip with the Alpine today instead of the Williams yesterday. I don't know what it is. But I mean, like in third gear on the medium tire, I could go flat out without wheel spin. I don't know what it is. I had the same setup as yesterday, but I had so much traction. I don't know. And on all tires, on the hard, on the medium, on the soft, it felt like I have middle traction control on, but it's not possible, right?
No, yeah, it's actually, it might be, yeah, I think it is enabled. I don't know if you have it preset outside of the F1. Or do you turn it off anyway?
Everywhere I have it turned off.
Okay, so it shouldn't have been the case. I mean, you could go and check in-game afterwards, but yeah, maybe it just needs a change of team, maybe, after that one.
Yeah. Also, the engine sound, I think the Alpine will be my car next season.
Yeah. Awesome job, though. Really well done. Next race, Saudi. Last time we saw you there, you did a very good job at Saudi. Do you think you can do a good job again?
I think so, yes.
Even
as I
with the big curves?
Yesterday. Yes, even with the curves. I explained it yesterday, but I like fast tracks, I like fast corners, and my real problem is acceleration out of corners, and because there aren't any slow corners on Saudi, only 1 or 2. I don't have the disadvantage of a slow traction exiting out of a corner.
Yeah, fair enough. And with an Alpine, it might even be even better. It'd be absolutely unlimited power. Well done today. One last question. How would you describe your race in 3 words?
Extremely exciting race.
Thank you very much. We'll see you next time. Well done today.
Goodbye.
And we move on to Zingy to end the stream. Goodbye from me, and here goes Zingy.
Thank you everyone for watching those amazing tour races that we had today. I mean, it was absolutely thrilling. Please join us again for Tuesday when we do the practice races. It'll be fun to see you there once again for some fun lobbies and to get some practice in for the races, which will be happening on Friday and Saturday. But anyway, that's been it from me, and we'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.